Hello out there and welcome. My name is Sharon Froshin. I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Discover Your Path U platform, where we believe that every life can teach and everyone can grow. To that end, I'm also the host of this show, The Connection Sessions, where we bring together entrepreneurs, practitioners, artists, marketers, spiritualists, mentors, and students to create a community that we can connect to, learn from each other, and grow. With me today, I have a fabulous young man who is the founder of an organization called Grow Together, and his driving passion in life is helping people identify who they really are and connecting them to their individual passions. So Luke, my guest today, Luke Burrows, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us a little bit how you got into this field of work and why this is such a big passion of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, just like to say a massive thank you for having me on the show today. It's
My
an
pleasure.
absolute pleasure. My pleasure to be here. So yeah, as you said, my name is Lou Burroughs. I'm the founder of Grow Together, and Grow Together basically started because I realized I wasn't the only young person who had questions about like career paths and what they wanted to do pretty much with their lives. You know, I left college halfway through the second year when I was 17. And because, you know, I wasn't learning much and I just felt like it was a waste of my time. And so so I left that, and then I took like 6 months out and I was like really trying to find what I wanted to do. And then that led me to, right, I made the decision, you know, I want to start my own business. Multiple reasons. The freedom aspect was there, you know, and just at the same time I was working a part-time job, and I didn't necessarily like it all that much, and I just wanted to be in like control of my destiny, I suppose. So yeah, I decided that I wanted to run my own business, but I'm 17, you know, I knew nothing about business or how they operated or anything. So at the time I decided to do a business apprenticeship here where I live, not too far. And I thought I was going to learn all these amazing things about business. Didn't turn out like that. Instead, I got sucked into like the 9 to 5 and everything, and I was doing that for looking back probably a little bit longer than I wanted to. But you know, you just get into those habits, don't you, and those routines, and yeah, I was just like sucked in, so to speak. So that led to like anxiety, depression, everything, because inside of me, I was like, there's a bigger purpose than this, you know, like I have a bigger purpose than this. What is it? And at the time there was, you know, things going on with like my social groups and everything, and just lots of things going on. I didn't truly know who I was, you know, like life values and everything. So yeah, that was a little bit of a, like, not the darkest moment. Obviously people go through darker things than I went through, you know, for that period, you know, I completely get that. But yeah, for me, it was a challenging period. So, and then, yeah, I tried some business models like affiliate marketing and everything, but I wasn't necessarily passionate about it or the things I was promoting. So yeah, I was just like, okay, like just like struggling with that as well. And then, yeah, then one day I like woke up and then I was like, okay, let's create a community of like-minded people. And then, yeah, that's when Grow Together was born, really. And yeah, so I think I do owe it to like network marketing and affiliate marketing for opening my eyes to the personal growth and personal development spaces and industries, because without that, then sometimes I wonder if I would have ever have like found it. But yeah, that's pretty much my story, my journey in a couple of minutes.
That's really powerful. I love how you literally created a business out of a need that you yourself were experiencing, because often we will chase what we think our ideal customer wants and needs rather than creating a business from a place where we ourselves have experienced the need. We know what the absence of this feels like. And so the passion that drives us in what we create is so much more profound. I'm sure that you've experienced that yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, that was the thing, because I tried affiliate marketing, network marketing, multiple different companies, and yeah, I just wasn't passionate about the products or what I was promoting or anything, you know, and I was just doing it because I thought it would help me to get where I needed or wanted to go in terms of running my own business, you know. It's a funny story how I actually got into network marketing. I didn't actually know it was network marketing. I actually thought it was like a work from home job that I could do, because at the same time I was trying to build my own t-shirt brand. And I thought, okay, you know, I could save time, you know, without having to travel to work if I do this work from home job. And then one day these box of products arrived at my door and I was like, okay, this is not a job, you know, type of thing. So, so how I got into it was a bit, I suppose, like a bit of accident. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I wasn't necessarily passionate about what I was doing. And now, you know, now that's completely different with Grow Together, and I have 2 podcasts, and, you know, we bring on awesome guests from all over the world, and I love podcasting and just conversations like this, you know, going on to other people's shows and you know, trying to support and help people in their own lives and journeys, really. So yeah, I've definitely felt that, you know, with like other businesses that I've tried to start, just not being passionate about them.
I know that marketing's always been really hard for me as well. And I think a lot of it is that in modern day marketing, the ideas that run modern day marketing are so detached from the idea of connecting to other human beings and actually creating and then marketing products that actually help to meet a need, a pain point in the life of another human being. And we get caught up in, oh, I made this much money this month, without really being able to attach any purpose to the money that we've created. And it kind of creates this vacuum inside of us that's like, well, yeah, I've got a lot of money, but what about that currency of purpose?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't think I don't know if I was like chasing the money with like when I dived into network marketing or anything. I think it was just the case that, you know, I wanted to run my own business, and this was, you know, an opportunity that was there. Same with like affiliate marketing. And again, like my intent when I started out wasn't actually to do that. It just like kind of happened. And then, then I sat down and really realized kind of what had happened, you know, how I got into it. And that, you know, there was all these books on my shelf like about personal growth, and I was reading them and learning so much, and putting together how I actually got into this, got into experiencing like anxiety and depression, and how my beliefs then just all linked it up, you know, it all started to make sense. So then, I made the decision to really go down that route, and that was in 2017. So it's been a journey, that's for sure.
It creates such a powerful pull for your customers and your community when you have a story that you can share with them, because anybody can create just vanilla, just completely vanilla marketing material and writing. But when you're coming from that place of, wow, I know what this feels like, the people that you're connecting to really open up and begin to allow that authentic human connection that creates a real community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's maybe something that I like, going back to also the marketing thing you mentioned before, because when I first started Grow Together, I kind of wanted to help and share that, you know, what I was learning with like everyone. And people was like, oh no, you have to like define a target market and do this and do that, you know, and I found that quite challenging in the beginning. I think, you know, as I've progressed and everything, you know, we've kind of got that all like nailed on now. But yeah, in the beginning, I was like, no, but you know, this information, you know, it should be for everyone and everything. So yeah, like mentioning your marketing point as well, like I've definitely felt that and had that in you know what I'm working on.
So as somebody who, and I'm estimating you're at least 20 years younger than I am, as someone who was raised in a generation where you really weren't provided the same tools that my generation was in growing up and in school. You weren't provided things like home ec and shop and any type of real emotional intelligence, in that you weren't taught how to deal with emotion. You weren't taught on an ongoing basis, hey, it's okay if you feel this, you can work through it. So what are some of the complications that you've found helping a generation of young people who unfortunately have been robbed of the opportunity to help themselves growing up? What are some of the complications that you find in helping them learn these new patterns now?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for me, it's like the first step is like with emotions is that awareness. So like having the awareness of the emotions that you're currently experiencing, and then starting to like question them. So like when I was experiencing more negative emotions, when I was going to the job that I hated and everything, it was first step of, you know, that awareness. And then for me, asking those thought providing questions are like, okay, so why am I experiencing, you know, these emotions? And then I think, then it also comes back to like your life values. And if you're living a life that's in, not in alignment with them, then, you're going to more than likely feel those like disempowering emotions and everything. So I think, like, I call it the self-discovery journey and everything that people go through, that they go through this journey and they start to realize, actually, these are my life values, and start to live a life more in alignment with them. So yeah, I think that's some of the things, that I kind of recommend and everything. But I think the complication is people aren't aware of that. They maybe don't have the awareness, or they don't spend time to sit down to ask themselves those thought-provoking questions, because they're so busy in like whatever they're doing, or because they think it's weird, or because they want to be seen to be like normal, or anything really. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Absolutely. One of our people who are watching this episode right now in chat, Monique Prinsloo, who's from South Africa, says you're a fascinating person. She's really enamored with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I will reply. I'll go into Facebook and reply. I don't have my phone next to me. I've like put it over the other side of the room so I don't get distracted. But when I'm on Facebook, I'll find the video and I'll reply to all the comments and that. Definitely.
That's fantastic. I wanted to ask you, I had somebody on the show yesterday who really brought up some stuff that I'd never really thought about before, which kind of makes me feel silly now that I hadn't. And that is that when I was born, there was no internet. There were huge TVs, not all of them color. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that dial-up internet became a thing. And so this access to constant information that your generation has had, I think that in small part that has kind of led to your sense of dissatisfaction, because my generation, my childhood didn't have all that stuff. If you wanted to call long distance, your mom wasn't going to let you because that was going to be a ridiculously expensive call. And we spent a lot of time playing outside. We spent a lot of time in nature. We spent a lot of time with each other and not attached to a screen. And one of the things that I find most tragic about young children today is that you guys have these amazing minds and they're so full of information. And yet all that seems to be doing is creating anxiety for you, because you have tons of information, but you don't really know those internal values and have that underlying foundation to use that information in a constructive way for yourself and others. So how do you help your clients and your community start to develop that foundation where they can really harness all this information that they have and thrive?
Yeah, great question. I mean, yeah, like when I have conversations with people, and because I'm in my 20s and that they, like yourself, they're like grown up with technology and everything. But actually, like some of my earliest childhood memories, and even through my teens, I was out playing football and everything as well. So I think it's like more people even younger than I am, that have grown up with like the technology even more. So it was probably only in my teens that I started to use it more type of thing. Not nowadays like 5-year-olds or something. So. But to answer your question, yeah, I don't know. I think it's about having the information, but then taking action on it. Like there's no point just having the information for having the information's sake. There's actually a quote that says, "So yeah, knowledge is power." But then, interesting story. So I actually heard my parents say that to my brother once, and they're like, "Yeah, knowledge is power," and I was like burst in the room, was like, but only if you take action on it, only if you apply it, and that's something that I like recommend to people in general. You could have all the information in the world, but then it's applying it into your life, and if you're an entrepreneur into your businesses to move forward. So not just sitting on it just because
just
for whatever reason. Exactly. So definitely for me, like take action on it, and then from there you'll continue to learn and continue to grow and everything. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
It does.
Yeah, but for me, it's the action. It's continuing to obviously to learn and take action on what you're learning and that information and that knowledge. So yeah, that's pretty much the main piece of advice that I I recommend to people. But then I think for some people it goes like deeper, because why aren't they taking action on the information that they've had, of the information that they've gained, and
Yes.
the knowledge that they have. So sometimes, it's like limiting beliefs can hold them back from taking the action or whatever it is. So then, you've got to work through that. And then it kind of goes back to what I said before, because for me, that's all part of like the self-discovery journey as well. Uncovering those limiting beliefs that you have to work through them. Again, that's all something, that we help people with inside Grow Together. So, yeah, I think most things are like deeper than what like we think. When people don't
Yes.
take actions on information, it's like, okay, but why? And again, it could be a limiting belief or something.
I think a lot of the power of what you've created is that we as human beings find so much strength and healing in simply connecting to each other, in that human to human connection. So specializing in a product that is not exclusively, but largely community, it's bringing people together with a similar issue and a similar problem.
Yeah.
To create a space in which, that brainstorming can happen, where each one can teach one, each one can help the other figure out how it is that we get through this. So what are some of the more amazing stories that you've encountered in your community where people have come together and the synergy of the whole of the parts has really created something beautiful for you and your clients?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. When people, somebody could be in like Africa and somebody else could be like the other side of the world, and they connect, and they start to build that friendship in that. I think those types of stories are the best, and that, and I see it, so within the community that, or it pops up on Facebook now this person have connected, and like. Then sometimes I go and like find out if that was through like Grow Together or something, and just like hearing those stories, I think it is amazing. Yeah, just connecting people together, to sharing those experiences, and even like those challenges with other people and how they've been able to overcome them, and that, and that's one thing. So I have so like I mentioned before, I have 2 podcasts. That's one thing that we do on the podcast, is have conversations with our members, or you should say, I have conversations with them, and to really start to understand their challenges and their story, their experiences, to then for the other community members, that they can realize, oh, I'm not the only one who's experienced this challenge, or going through this experience. So yeah, that's a huge part of Grow Together, and why I created it, because I realized that, yeah, so from my own like social group and that, I was maybe the odd one out, in the fact that, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and I wanted to do all these amazing things, and not necessarily work a 9 to 5 or something. Yeah, there was that like time where I felt a little bit alone, and I didn't want anyone else to kind of go through that. So that's another reason for creating Growing Together in that community. So yeah, again, like from my own experience. So yeah, like those types of stories, and that are, I think, the most fascinating.
They really are, and they're also the best. They're the best marketing material there is.
Yeah.
Is that connection and the healing that takes place in other people's lives as a result of your product.
Definitely. And I think, for us, it has taken a little bit of time to get to that point, and for other people, to I suppose open up and share their own personal story. But then, we're dealing with, like real people, relationship building, it takes time. And so, yeah, I've never really been concerned about that, but, yeah, it's just part of the process, really.
Awesome. Well, Luke, we are at the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been really fun getting to know you and getting to understand Grow Together better. To our viewers, to Monique, to Paul, to all of you who showed up on the chat here in Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. And if you do come by later and you catch this video after we're no longer live, drop us a hashtag replay and let us know that you were here, so that we can interact with you. All of Luke's contact information is in this live, including his website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give him a shout out, connect with him, find out what he's all about. So as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. We will be back next week on Monday, same place, same time, and I love you. Bye.